Hello, everybody. We are live. How's it going? Ed and I are
Hi
back with
guys,
you
how you doing?
another Friday here. A lot of people in the chat today. Happy to see you all in there chatting away super early. Oh, hello, Priscilla. Are you sleeping? Are you a little tired
We
this
already put her
afternoon?
to sleep.
That's a record. It's only been 20 seconds.
Wow. So right after this stream, I have to drive to the grocery store and pick up groceries, but I don't actually have to do anything. I just open my trunk and they put them in.
Oh, it's one of those. Is it like a Walmart pickup or is it a something else pickup?
I think it's Food City.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming that must be local because we don't have those here.
Yeah, we don't have deliveries, very many deliveries in this town because it's a vacation town.
Oh.
And we have like 35 restaurants, but we only have 60,000 or 6,000 people. So it's like on the weekends, our population probably goes up to like 35,000. You know, we have a lot of people on the weekends, but during the week, there's always jobs needed everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like all the high school kids are so lucky in this town.
Yeah, that's how it is up by my sister too. I think her town has one stoplight.
Now, my town has probably 15 stoplights.
Yeah, it's in the center of town. But yeah, that's like their tourism comes from like hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, stuff like that. But the farmers constantly have jobs for the high schoolers. They get a week off in October for harvest break where they go help the farmers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got all the bass tournaments is coming.
I've never gone for just bass.
They have like $100,000 giveaways or bass tournaments.
Wow.
Like, yeah, 2 years ago, a local guy won it, so it was like in all the newspapers.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never specifically targeted bass. I've always just caught them while I was going for whatever. Because like I really don't lake fish. I do more stream and river fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've fished in a lake or a couple times, but so if I was doing that, I would just throw it out whenever I got.
You know that? Have you ever seen that one singer? He's like a real big, strong black guy from I think he's from the 70s, but he sings real high. But he's always like got real big muscles. But he's got like a birthmark like on his eye or like right above his eye or right below his eye. Darn it. I wish I could think of what his name is. Well, I've got this head thing from Father Fish in one of my fish tanks, and there's a snail right on its head, and it reminds me of him.
Priscilla, I don't know where Lisa is.
Which Lisa?
I'm assuming they're talking about KG Tropicals, Lisa.
Can she text her?
I mean, I could. Unless, I don't know. I'm assuming that's the Lisa she's talking. That's the only Lisa I know. In, the fish, whatever.
Oh, look, there's Diego. He's a super cool guy.
Happy to have Diego in here today. Oh, Amy, I got your Christmas card. Thank you for that.
Oh, awesome. I have no idea if I've got any mail right now because it's all being quarantined right now. I've been just locked up, not knowing if I've got anything. But I'm going to send out my Christmas cards as soon as my quarantine's up.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And speaking of all that, how's the heart thing going?
Well, I guess okay. I don't know. I'm hoping not to get the disease or whatever, that's floating around because it's supposed to be bad on people with heart conditions. But I've got 5 sick people in my house, so.
Well, that's not. Are you you're separated? Is it like a wall or something that separates you?
I just locked myself in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't.
I was gonna say because we had one of my coworkers. They shared like a 2-family house, and a housemate had it, but she was on like it's a split level, so she was on the other side, so they weren't too worried about her catching it.
Well, and that's the thing is, I'm a little bit more fortunate than the average person in a family because I actually live in the basement, but the basement is a whole nother living area. So I've got my own air conditioning, my own heating, my own water, my own kitchen. It's like soundproof too, because it's like they probably rented the basement or something. I don't know.
Could have been a mother-in-law apartment too, yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's huge, so it's cool.
Rico says Aaron Neville.
Yes, that's him. Bring up his picture. You'll see it. Aaron Neville. This guy, he looks like he could be a linebacker, but he has the voice of a songbird. He likes to wear like vests and stuff, like jackets that he just ripped the sleeves out of. And he probably ripped them like, whoop. See how he's got the thing right over his eyebrow? That was exactly where the snail was.
Oh. Okay.
The birthmark thing. But the snail's moved on.
Yeah, the name doesn't ring a bell, but I'm sure if I heard his music, I'd probably know who it is.
Yeah, who knew that?
Rico.
Nice job, Rico. Man. See, that's it. When it comes to trivia, music is my weakest area.
Nah, Priscilla, he's not demanding. He just knows that I'm quick with the typing fingers and can pull stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you look like you're in the Christmas spirit there, Ed. You've decked out the fish room.
And look, I've got a flamingo.
You've got a flamingo. Is its hat lighting up?
It just has a light above.
Oh, it's a light behind it. Okay.
I bought these LED light bulbs, these big round ones, and I just wanted to test them before I bought enough for 2 layers.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, they're very disappointing.
Well,
they look good in the dark. I could turn out the lights and see what you guys think.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be right back.
That's weird, Pam. I have had that happen with other stuff before, where you like get the tracking number matches other stuff. Because you know what? Because UPS will do like USPS stuff. Eventually, we'll get to UPS, something like that. There we go. There's Ed's fish room with the lights off.
You know what? They're even brighter without the lights on the fish tanks.
The top row ones don't look too bad. You can make those out. It's the bottom row with all the ambient lighting.
Yeah. I mean, a
little better right there.
Okay. How's that?
There we go. You're all nice and festive.
Yeah. And I'm in the dark.
Yeah, that's strange, Pam. But that doesn't surprise me because UPS and USPS have been having so many issues right now.
As soon as I'm out of quarantine, I'm going to send Pam some frog bit, and I'm going to send Priscilla some water lettuce.
John says he'd rather see the tanks.
Oh.
Rico likes the lights, though.
Well, thank you. It's really bizarre, though, because we were talking about it. Watch this underneath light right here on this tank. It's just as bright to me, but as soon as I turn the lights back on, this is going to go black underneath this lights.
Now who's being demanding, Priscilla?
See how dark it gets when the lights are
Oh
on?
yeah, you're right. You can barely see him now.
It's just like a weird trick of nature.
Priscilla would like to add some guppy grass to her order.
Yes, I've got guppy grass too. I'll be taking it out of this tank right here because it's got too much guppy grass. Unless you need some brackish guppy grass, and then I could take it out of the tank up there.
Would that be the Molly tank?
Yep. So
I know. I am not happy with the United States Postal Service right now.
Shh.
The fish that I sent out to the guy who won it a couple streams ago, 8 days later it arrived, and it was going to New York. He lives 4 hours away, and it took 8 days to get there.
That's terrible. I gotta pull my pants up. Okay.
So I'm not happy about that. So I'm probably going to wait until after Christmas to mail anything out. Just to be safe.
That makes sense.
They were doing so well for a while, and now it's like they're just late on everything.
Ooh, Priscilla said she had 7 packages arrive late.
Unfortunately, the fish did not survive.
No, I bet. That's terrible.
He was in an insulated box. He had a 72-hour heat pack. He had a breather bag. I even stuck a little ammonia pad in there to soak up any waste or anything, but at that point, the heater ran out probably a couple days after I got him, or they got late. The water was just too cold.
You need like a 200-hour.
Yeah, you need a freaking 5-day heat pack right now. But yeah, with how cold it's been up here, it's been in the 20s up here in where we are. So that water was, Rico was who was. He said the water was probably in the 40s. So there's no way that fish was lasting, unfortunately.
Boy, that's a drag.
I mean, UPS, or they were doing fine. But the thing I don't get was I mailed a package to Lisa and John because she wanted some snails and some floating plants. Now, they're in Virginia. That's about a 9-hour drive from me. That took 10 days to get to her. It took 8 days. Yeah. Wow. It took 8 days for the package to get to Rico in New York, who's 4 hours. I send a package to Kansas, gets there the next day.
Yeah.
So it must be something with the regional distribution up in the New England area that it takes longer. It must be like the local bus where it stops at every single stop versus where it goes to one center and then gets shipped out.
Well, you have a bajillion people in one area too.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Kansas probably is like the population of one of the cities there.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably get excited when a package comes into the state. They're like, oh, look, Johnny got a package.
But, like, everything I ship from Connecticut, regardless of where it goes up to Massachusetts. Then it gets sent to another distribution center.
I don't know why I kind of had like the Nordic accent there because they don't talk like that in Kansas. I grew up in Kansas City. They sound like this. Except I was on the other side I was a Missouri guy, but still. I made them sound like they were from Fargo or something.
Actually, we knew a guy who lived in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we
North Platte. I should have went North Platte.
We used to stay at a hotel up in Kennebunkport, Maine, where George Bush Sr. has his compound, and the bartender flew out every summer to work this particular hotel bar.
That's cool.
And he meant
Sister Rena's from there.
Oh, cool! I haven't seen them in a while.
There's
Lisa.
Yeah, Priscilla's looking for you, Lisa.
Yeah, Priscilla was asking if you were here, Lisa. How's it going? Oh, she's watching her grandson.
Oh, cool. Well, Priscilla has some exciting news to tell you. We don't know what it is. But yeah, actually, I saw a real live pimp in.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen a pimp in my life.
Now, did they actually dress with all the coats and the cane?
Not really. And I felt, you can't feel sorry for a pimp, but I had to stay overnight. So I went to the Hotel 8, which is like real close to the mall. And so I drove around to the room. And there he is, and he's like standing with 8 girls, and they're all yelling and fighting with each other. And he's just doing this. And I was like, can't believe this is real. and then this is in Fargo, not New York City or something, It's just so strange. I mean, I grew up in St. Louis, and I don't think I ever saw a real live pimp. So I guess I don't really get out much.
Needless to say, I won't be shipping anything for the foreseeable future because I don't want that to happen. And the betas are more resilient than the guppies, I think. So the fact that thing didn't make it, I would be too scared to send guppies right now. Dry goods, yes, but living things, no.
Well, I need to send some of these mollies to Kenny E. Because he was one of the guys that caught him. And then I was thinking about maybe doing my first real live fish giveaway. And give away a couple of my swordtail guppies, not my swordtail tails. We'll have to wait till they start breeding. Did I tell you I've got a whole colony of swordtails?
No.
Oh my gosh. Somebody brought their whole colony into my local store. And
Aquatic
I brought
aesthetics?
them. Yep. I mean, the males are from tail to nose, probably 5 to 6 inches.
Wow.
And he was selling them $6 a piece. So I bought them all. And I mean, all the females were gravid. I put them in with my big molly tank right now, but I think I'm going to move them out. Or maybe I'll move out my mollies. I'm kind of getting tired of my mollies.
Yeah, I impulse bought some mollies when I first started the community tank again. And I gotta say, I wasn't that upset when they didn't last very long.
Well, what I don't like, I love mollies. I actually do. But my mollies, I didn't call them from the beginning.
Oh.
And now I've got like half of them are super ugly. Like they look like they're orange. Beautiful. I've got like beautiful orange lyre tail ones. They're about that big. But then I've got some that look like they've been dipped in bleach.
Oh.
They're like, they lack almost all color, but they're not white. They're like creamy, ugly.
Oh.
And, that's disappointing. And I don't know. They're so fast. And it's like the uglier they are, the faster they are.
Well, they got no color. They swam it all off.
I tell you.
Oh, John says he's having some stream issues. Anyone else having issues with the stream?
I've noticed that you've locked up a couple times just briefly. But I don't know if I have. I sound like I have been talking like I normally do, but I'm live.
Well,
so maybe I'm like...
Well, it could be because I had Steam open, something decided to download, so...
Oh, I have Steam open too.
Well, I closed mine, so hopefully that fixes whatever issue there was.
Yeah. Lefty and I were looking at games on Steam before we came on live, so...
I was telling Ed that there's a digital version of Wingspan, which we've talked about like 6,000 times, but I opened up the actual hard copy of the box, and my family and I have been playing it multiple times a day, every day, pretty much since I opened it. It's so much fun. Once you actually understand how it plays, it's very fun. Also, I agree with you, Ed, about the end of the round bonus things and picking them after the round is over.
Yeah.
I tried it both ways. I like it your way better.
It adds a whole nother element of funness, and you see, like my brother, he's like never change the games. House rules stink. And I said, well, you're at my house, so you got to go with
house
my
rules.
And he was like, oh, this is so much better. So
yeah, I mean, there's some strategy with how they have it, so you can technically work toward those last two if you want, but I don't know. I just think it went better when we just picked it randomly and it was just RNG based instead of then you could just focus more on your personal goal and your building of your sanctuary.
Right. Totally. Now, okay, when you cache food on your birds, do you put that food in your food bank or do you put them on your bird?
I was putting them on the cards.
That's how you're supposed to play it.
Okay.
But you can pull that food for food.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can use it as food, but you don't get the points.
Okay.
See, whatever's been cashed, you can get 1 point per
That
cash.
makes a little more sense, because I was wondering why we almost ran out of wheat like 3 times.
Yes. So you can use the stuff on the cash.
Okay, I'll have to
food.
The rule book seemed a little too daunting for me, so I went on YouTube and just watched a playthrough of it, which made it seem so much more simple.
Well, and here's another thing, is there's a super easy way to win the game every time, and it's to lay 1,000,000 eggs.
Yes, I've noticed that when I play on the computer, all the AI does is lay eggs.
Yeah, well, you get 1 point per egg.
They do nothing else.
So, but we changed the rules to combat that.
Oh?
What we've done is we count 1 food for every point also.
Oh, are you...
Because
yeah.
we get just as much food as we get eggs. So
right.
This way, we get to do more than just... Because, you guys, there's like 3 columns. There's one that's waterfowl, and that one, a lot of those birds eat other birds, and you stick the card underneath, and you get to count the cards for a point each. Then there's a row where they all lay eggs. That's like the birds that live in the grass. But the birds that live in the trees, they get all your food, but the food doesn't count for anything, so nobody wants to do much in the trees. Once we figured out the cheat was to just lay 1,000,000 eggs. So now we can either go food, cards, or eggs, and because they're all equal.
That is a good idea.
You can get just as many cards as you can get eggs. You can get just as much food as you can get eggs. So if eggs count as points, make the food count as points.
I'm almost surprised they don't just have that as a thing, as a score.
I know. It's once we figured it out that eggs dominated, we were just all a bunch of egg layers. It made it less fun. So I said, let's make food count. Game's back into action, But I could see how the video game, they would just lay millions of eggs.
That's all the AI does. So this is what the virtual version looks like, Ed. So this will be my first turn where I can keep the birds or whatnot. I'm just going to randomly keep stuff so I can show you what the player mat looks like.
So he just picked a water bird. And so the water bird, let's see, it requires only 1 fish. So it's super easy to play. I can't read what type of bird that is.
So now this is the default. So you've got your forest up here, and this is what the forest background looks like. If you click down to the grassland, you've got your grassy, and then the water levels here.
Oh,
but
wow.
You can also play so you have the mat. So you can play with a mat too, if you want.
And you guys, look at this middle row. See, the first level gets you 2 eggs. The second level gives you 3. Look, at the end, if you get 5 birds in there, you're laying 4 eggs around. That's still more than food. It's crazy.
It is. So
but a lot of the food birds will give you food. So that's cool.
But yeah, this is what it looks like when you just do it on the computer.
I like how the birds move.
Yeah, all the birds are animated too. And when you play a card, it reads you like a brief description of the bird too.
Oh, that's neat.
So I have it muted so you wouldn't be able to hear it, but yeah. And then here's your draw thing down here if you want to look at the 3 that are up. But then I would just click here if I want to draw a card, and that's the deck.
Is that a cowbird?
We got a condor, a bunting, and a warbler.
That black one is a condor?
Yeah, it's a California condor.
Oh my gosh, I can't see it all without my glasses.
When I was playing, my strategy was to just get the birds with the most points.
Yeah, that works too.
The one time I did that is when I won. But yeah, so it's a super fun game. If you want to get it on Steam to try it before you spend the $50 on the main game, you can. If you buy the main game now, they do give you a code for Steam. So, but yeah, it's a little pricey, but I think it's worth it.
We should have a game sometime. I bet you we could get Sean to spend $20 online to play it.
Yeah, the only problem with the online is you can't do your personal rules.
Yeah. Well, Sean Peck, I don't know if he likes personal rules either. He's kind of like my brother, so I don't know if he's like a true rule Nazi, but every time I played a game with him, it's strictly by the rules.
So yes, the digital version is multiplayer. You can play with, I think, 3 or 4 people.
That's cool. I'd love to. Ooh, excuse me. I'd love to get Rack to play with us too.
I think Rack would like it, just if not for the anything but the art of the cards.
Well, my dad loves the facts about the birds. Yep. I was giving out a whole bunch of facts last night about woodpeckers. I wish I would have looked them up and refreshed myself.
That was another one of my strategies, trying to get the cards to let me pick an extra bonus card.
Mm-hmm.
That worked a couple times, but so far I've had the best luck with just trying to play the birds with the most points on them.
Yep.
I've drew the bald eagle my first game.
Oh, never had the bald eagle. Never. I've had the American wild turkey.
Yeah, I've had that.
That one's a good one, and the trumpeter swan I've had
big
too.
Beast. Yeah. Yeah, I got the bald eagle my first time out, but then there were never already fish in the feeder, so it was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, Scott.
There's Scotty. Well, what do you mean there was no food in the feeder?
Well, it says take all the fish in the bird feeder.
Oh, yes. And there's never fish in it.
It never worked. There was one time we rolled the dice, we got 4 freaking rats. and nothing. Yeah. I'm like, really? When I need them, they don't come up. When I don't need them, we get them.
Yep.
And I also thought about maybe, giving a copy of the actual game away at one point on a stream, maybe.
So expensive.
Well, I mean, if it's on sale on Amazon, I only paid $35.
You paid $35?
I got it on on Amazon Day. It was $35 during Amazon Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I paid $75 for my copy.
That's the usual going rate. Now it seems like Amazon's kind of constantly on there for $50.
They must be making a lot more copies.
I think so. I think it's got more popular. Because when I first saw it, 8 months ago now, I think it was still $75. And now it's come down a little bit.
Well, they just couldn't afford to make more than 1,000 copies per run.
Yeah.
And after like the 8th run, I think maybe they started to be able to.
Plus, they've got 2 expansions now they're making some money on.
Blackie and I even talked about this game. He found this game in Australia, and we were talking about it.
And I already bought the Oceanic expansion.
Is that the stupid one? Oh,
that's the new one.
That's the good one.
That's the new one that's just coming out.
I don't know if it's good or not, but the European ones.
Looking at the dice, it almost looks like they got rid of the worm, which I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if you're supposed to replace your dice with the new dice or how that's working. So I'll have to see when it comes in.
It might be a situation where if you get a particular bird, you get an extra dice.
Maybe, yeah. Because I know they added the nectar thing, so all the hummingbirds aren't in the new expansion are going to be on nectar.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that either.
I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and I'll just sell it.
Yeah. Normally, I love expansions, but this is one game I don't think they're doing good on the expansions.
They kind of should have just made the new cards and stuff and just left the core of the game the same. Just been like, here's 50 new birds from Eastern Europe. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, and sell it as a deck.
Yeah. Not as a whole expansion.
You could sell a deck of cards for $10 and probably make more profit than selling these boxes for $35.
Oh, yeah. But I will say the quality is really good for the game.
And I do like, though, the eggs that come with the expansions. Because you've got purple eggs and some other new egg. And like we were saying, you never can have enough food or eggs.
This is true. Yeah, we were pretty much running out of grain one time because my mother had 2 birds that cached grain, and
the chickadees.
Yeah, she used it every time, and I'm like, Well, no one's using rats, so you get rats now.
Well, in the rules it says when the grain runs out, that's it.
Oh, I thought it said you could use something suitable.
I think well, maybe they changed it, but
They
I think when we played it strictly by the rules, when you're out of grain, you're out of grain. And that was my brother's big thing, was he'd try to get birds that would steal all of one particular type of food, so just to shaft everybody else. My brother's all about shafting people. Did I say hi to Scotty? Scotty's here.
I think you did. Wow. So yeah, one company is selling the game via Amazon Prime, not the comp. Oh, they so they're selling the 2018 version, which must be different. Oh, it's not the Swift pack. That's the only difference, really. I'm just looking at the fact that the original version costs $100. The newer version costs $57.
And it doesn't come with the Swift pack.
No, it doesn't. So why the heck is it had double the price?
Collector value, I guess.
Yeah.
But the Swift pack is only 12 extra birds.
Yeah, but I didn't even realize what it was. I thought it was an expansion that came with it. So I didn't touch it until I actually read that, it helps you learn how to play. Oh,
I didn't know that. I thought it was just that there were like these 12 birds in North America that people were upset weren't in the game. So they added it.
It's the extra birds, but it also gives you like a follow these instructions for your first 4 turns. So it gives you step-in-step instructions for each player so they know how a round goes. So your first round is all dictated for you.
All right, that makes sense. I played the game and I already knew how to play it when I got mine, so I just threw all the instructions away. Well, I'm sure it's in the box, but I just don't want to look at those.
But yeah, it looks like the Oceanic one gives you new player mats too, so I'm very confused.
No, it just gives you one new one, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Oceanic. I have no idea. I've only played the European.
Comes with 5 new ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
And there's something about having nectar or something in habitat. I don't know. It's going to be weird. I may not like it.
I'm not going to spend my money on it.
I'll let you know if it's worth buying.
Okay. That's cool.
Oh, grilled cheese in a movie sounds good. Can I have one too?
In St. Louis, there's an AMC theater that has like a restaurant in it, and I would always get the macaroni gumbo.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
And a chocolate shake. And the shakes, they would put something special in the top of it. So one time I got like a whole ice cream sandwich on the top, and one time I got a big brownie on the top. Oh man, I miss that place. That was a cool place. And you just push a button and the waitress runs out to you.
Oh, that's fancy.
And, yeah, the glasses, you don't buy like a paper glass. You buy a glass cup and they just keep filling it.
Oh.
It was fun. I miss that theater. We don't have like super fancy stuff here in Chattanooga yet.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it's just our population doesn't, our population is like 600,000. So someday. Or I'll just go back to St. Louis. Occasionally, not forever. But I was just talking to a friend that wanted me to come out before Christmas and I'll see my brother and everything. So I might spend like 3 days right before Christmas. Or maybe right after. But yep. So, did you have work today?
I've been working from home the last couple days because I still wasn't feeling well. So now my doctor wants me to get another COVID test, even though I just had one on Monday. So I got to call and schedule that.
What type of test?
It's the nose one.
The nose one? I've had both.
But luckily when they do it here, they only stick like that much up. It's not a lot. It's just like the very tip of the pen went up there.
Yeah, when I went and got it done, I couldn't even feel them.
Oh yeah, they're like, okay, we're gonna stick it up there now. I'm like, okay. I didn't feel anything. She's like, okay, you ready for the next one? I'm like, yeah.
But when I was in the hospital and they were gonna stick that thing down my throat to look at my heart, because they were putting me under, I had to be admitted and everything, and they had to do a test before I could be admitted. And they did one, they stuck it in my throat, and they knew within 15 minutes.
Oh, that must be one of the rapid ones.
It's like that's what we need everywhere.
Well, I've heard the rapid ones can give you a false positive though.
Well, they all do though.
So, well, apparently the new nose one is supposed to be the most accurate, but it takes 24 to 48 hours for results.
That's what I had. It was 24 to, and it took like right at 30 hours.
Yeah, that's about when I got mine too.
And it came out like at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I think mine was 12:16 a.m. Mine, I got an email about my results.
Well, they had us just they sent us an email saying go to the website, and then they gave you a number, and you type in your number, and it says positive or negative.
Okay, yeah, we got the hospital I went to gives you a patient portal to check on.
They said they'll also call you within 48 hours if you're positive, just in case you didn't check.
Yeah, we only call if it's positive too. If you're negative, they don't call.
But was it free?
Yes.
Yeah, ours was.
We drove up. There's only one car in front of us. We were in and out of there in 6 minutes, and there was all three of us got tested.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yep, they have.
I see you just kind of froze up right there.
Oh, you know what? Steam's open again because I was showing off the game. So something must be downloading on Steam. It's all Steam's fault. God dang it. Okay, Steam is closed. We should be good now.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I figured since you were locking up, I would. Well, but that's cool.
So yeah, I'm working from home. My main boss was like, just take the sick days. Don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't get sick days. So I do worry about it. She's like, well, you don't have to technically because of COVID. You'll still get paid. I'm like, yeah, but I feel bad because I've left you shorthanded now for 10 days.
And taking money.
And then my secondary boss, so the vice principal, not the principal, was like, as long as you don't feel terrible and you don't mind working, you can work. And I'm like, I'll work as long as I'm not dry heaving or something.
Yeah.
Because I work from 8:30 until 12:30. That's all I have to do on the computer. I make phone calls for an hour, and then I help out in classrooms.
Well, my niece, that's 21, she's upstairs. She works at Target. And I think she works like 24 hours a week because she also is a full-time college student. Well, they're paying her. They're still giving her the money as if she's at work. That's pretty nice.
So I technically could put, COVID down and not, but I'd rather, they know I have work ethics and stuff, so I'd rather just keep it up.
Yeah.
Plus, it's okay, Copper. Calm down.
My friend, her sister has put her down at her address as her residence, and they like hate each other. And she's gotten 2 notifications that her sister's gone on COVA leave twice already this year. Just to get the pay. Aw.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of that. But now they're saying that if they catch you, that you don't actually need it, they're going to make you pay it all back.
That's good.
Yeah, I have a buddy up in Canada. He said they're doing the same thing up there. They had so many people say, oh, we can't work because of COVID, but they were still working the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's your dinner time, isn't it? That's why you woke up.
Mm-hmm. So, anything new in the fish room?
No, I'm taking a break from buying fish. The only new thing might be new fish foods. I'm debating trying the entire Bug Bite line, so the flakes and everything. But I want to get rid of some more fish food first. But
I bought 2 things of Bug Bite flakes, and I don't know where they ever ended up.
Well, I was looking on Amazon because, the whole Fish Fam Secret Santa thing. And they do have some smaller sizes on there. So you don't have to get the big containers now. I think they have like the ones that are 0.6 ounces on there now. So it'll be about half the size of the Tetra Flake I have. So if you wanted to try them, they've got them now. So I might get some and see what they're like.
Yeah, I bought 2 cans. They're like a tall, skinny. They're like a tall boy.
Yeah.
And I bought them from my local store, and then I don't know where I put them.
Uh-oh. I'm sure Nico will find it for you.
You'd think. I don't know. They're probably in the garage or something. Hopefully they didn't get thrown away because they were in the back of my seat of my car, and I thought they were cans of pop or something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Things happen. But my fish never liked the black soldier worms or whatever they were.
See, mine so far have liked the tropical granule and the tropical bottom feeder formula. All of the fish I've given it to have loved it. I mainly bought it because when I had some assassin snails, I was going to try and breed them. And I know Corey was feeding the bottom feeder one to his when he was breeding assassin snails. But my assassin snails never bred, so everything else got to eat it.
Or maybe they just killed all of each other.
It's possible. I mean, I think
the last 2 got they were dueling and they both jabbed each other and killed each other at the same time.
I honestly think that's why my 5-gallon fish tank was always at 8 parts per million ammonia. I think they all just died underneath the substrate, so I couldn't see them.
Oh, that's right. They're buried. They like to dig.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I was like, why is that tank not cycling? There was nothing in it except then, and I was going to put something in it. And then when I went to test the water, I'm like, this tank is 4 months old. Why is it at 8 parts per million ammonia?
Yeah, that stinks.
Then I did literally 100% water change, and it was still at 2 parts per million. So there must have been so much latent stuff on the substrate and the plastic.
I don't know if I don't think I've bought snails. I think every snail I have
has gotten.
Yeah, I got a bunch of the Hercules snails, but that was from a store. I bought the tank and they just gave me the snails were in it.
Oh.
And then I've got some purple mystery snails that I see occasionally. And I got a little package of them for free at a fish swap.
Oh.
And I threw them in there, and I saw one yesterday. It was like that big.
Wow. Yeah, I tried mystery snails when I first was doing snails again. Got them all from PetSmart. Within a couple weeks, they were dead. So then I was like, I'm not going to do snails anymore. Then I actually researched ram's horn snails and the bladder snails. And once I realized they don't eat your plants, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep these guys in my tanks.
Well, and I've got some of Haley's pink snails.
Oh.
I don't know what they are, but they came in on some of the plants I got from her. Just babies. And they're cute because they're pink. They're like bubblegum pink. And I honestly don't mind the snails. Like, everyone's like, oh, how do I get rid of snails? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm like, don't get rid of them. Just feed your tank less and just enjoy the fact that your tank has balanced itself to create an ecosystem. I hate snails, like the ones that overpopulate. I've got a bajillion of them in with the mollies, that because they were emaciated, so I fed them a lot, and now they're fatties. But I've got a million snails in there.
I've noticed a lot of the times the actual small clutches that the ramshorns lay, my other fish eat them.
This tank right here. Wait. Yes. No. This tank right. No, it is this tank. This tank right here has an outbreak of snails, but I've been overfeeding it because I've got red Moscows in there and they eat their fry. So if I keep them full, they don't eat their fry.
Good plan.
Stupid snails.
Now, is that Val in both of those tanks?
Yeah, I have a lot of different types of Val. I've got.
Well, I can't get mine to grow.
I'll mail you some. It's easy.
Like, I've got it in my cichlid tank. I've got it in my beta tank. It just don't grow.
I've got Val that's the jungle Val that's about like almost a half-inch thick. And I literally have to cut 6 inches off of it every week.
Wow.
Because I have it in a 20 long.
Okay.
So it only has like 10 inches to grow. And that stuff will grow 8 feet. And then I've got the real thin Val. I don't know what it's called. You know, the real thin stuff. I have corkscrew Val, and that stuff's awesome. I think it's my favorite because it's all curly. And then I've got some Val. I don't know what this is, but it's got it's like dark green on the sides, but it shoots a light green strip right up the middle.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. That tank I should probably trim down also. I need to figure out what type of fish are in that tank. Since I'm breeding them, they're having babies. There's some type of goodiet that I didn't even know I got them. Do you know what Babbit means? It's the breeder program that clubs will have, fish clubs.
Okay.
And you score points. And then if you have enough breeding points, you become a master breeder.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but you see what they do is a lot of these clubs, they like kind of just keep trading some of the easier fish for points.
Oh.
You see, and you only can score like 4 points on guppies. But like you can get 4 points on goodiots. Or, you know, and I'm just making these points
right
because I don't know what for sure everything is.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you could get a puffer to breed, you might get 12 points. You know, so but since there's goodiots, that's a whole nother line of fish, so you'll get points for it. So they like to trade goodiots with each other. And these guys they're real pretty goodiots. They're yellow. I don't know what they are. Somebody just threw them in my bag or like in my box because we were like walking around on a live stream and everything was like shutting down and people were just giving me stuff. And somehow I got that bag in there.
Oh, lucky you.
So, yeah. Well, and you know what? I really feel bad. I mean, I'm looking at them right now and they're all close to the front right now because everybody's waiting for food.
Oh.
And they're just a really pretty fish. Boy, I didn't realize I had so many adults in that tank. I thought I only had 2 because it only seems like 2 ever in the front. But that's cool. So yeah, I've got 2 different types of goodies.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. But yep.
Yeah, I'm still loving this 2-spot catfish I got from Dan a month and a half ago.
Oh, cool.
And I'm lucky, no aggression yet. He's still getting along peacefully with everybody. Hey, Big J.
Let's see. I'm going to look up these 2 types of fish that Select Pet said that he thinks they are. Or do you want to do that? Because you're so much quicker.
Sure.
And then we'll see if they look like them. Sorry. I accidentally put my arm on her tail. She hissed at me.
Okay. Oh, come on. Don't be so tiny. Okay. Share. Boom.
Maybe I could try to take a photo of them.
That's the first one. So that's the at ECN. ICN.
You know what? It might be. Let me get a photo of them. Let's see. Let's go. Zoom in. Nope. That's. Come on, guys. Okay.
Google.
I think I gotta.
And according to
That's
Google,
just a.
oh, hang on. Let me make it big. There you go.
You go ahead.
No, I made you full screen so they can see it.
Oh. It's not as pretty as some of the others, but when I put the camera up, this is the one that didn't run away.
Well, these are the two options from Select Pet.
Yep. I've got the one that starts with the X there. The one with the black.
This one on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got those guys in this tank right here.
Okay.
But I wish a male would come up. Let's see. There's 3 of them in the front now. Let's see if I can get a photo.
All right.
But there are a lot of green on these guys. I mean, a lot of yellow. Oh. Close. Okay. There we go. So what are those? Sorry, it's not the best photo in the world. But that's not too bad for just leaning over and snapping.
Oh, it's not.
Okay. So what do you think, guys? You know what? And they look actually a lot better on my camera than on screen. But does anybody know what these fish are? And they're more yellow than what they appear on screen.
I say on there, they almost look like a Emerald Iris Bora with the color of their scales.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys they're live bears. They're breeding.
Well, hello there, John from KG Tropicals. How are you this fine Friday afternoon? Who's building a wall for her new beta room?
John's super cool.
Mm.
Oh, did you see my little package that I got last night from Rack?
I was passed out by the time James even started last night, so
It was really neat. I didn't know what to expect because it's like a bag of sand, and I thought it was going to have one tooth and just sand. And it turned out it was like filled with shells and things, and I have 6 shark teeth in here. One's fossil, but the other ones are just little shark teeth.
Well, that's
and yeah, it was really fun to kind of sift through it. And so I don't think Rack is making a lot of money off them at all. I
didn't even know he was selling them.
Yeah, it was his product debut last night. We did for him.
Okay,
$20 shipped. So for $20, you get this bag of sand and shells and teeth, and it's really neat for like kids, I think, to find the shark teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be kind of cool. Do you know? Remember where he was selling them on, or
probably wherever he sells his art? Maybe it's on Etsy.
Yeah. I think he had a set. I think he shut down the Etsy at one point because something happened. Let me just check.
Bummer.
Let me just check his Facebook page real quick.
See, yeah, I didn't get many of the details because he was talking mostly to James, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna check and see maybe he posted them on here somewhere, so I can throw out a link real quick.
So, has anybody come up with an idea of what these fish are? I wonder if they're a care. Oh, doggone it! I just got rid of chat.
That's okay, Ed. You can pull it back up.
I know, it just drives me nuts.
Hey, Miss Mash Socks, how's it going?
Hey, Socks. Let's see. Click this button. Nope, that wasn't right. Quality video right here. Quality streaming. 2 guys looking at their computer.
I was trying to find Rack's thing for him.
I know. There we go.
Oh,
There, I got
okay.
it.
So James put in the description, if you want your own Bago Beach, to PayPal rack $20.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to just put that out there in the chat. Anyone wants to just go check that out. PayPal rack $20. There's his PayPal email in the chat. And I'm assuming just put a note on there that says Bago Beach with your shipping address, and you'll get a bag of beach. So if you got like nephews or nieces or grandkids and you're looking for something to send them for Christmas that's different, then they can sift through it and look for shark teeth and stuff. That'd be a cool little gift to get them.
Yep. John from Select Pet, I was never told what they were because I didn't know that I had received them. But I remember talking about them on the table with the guy because he was talking about them being his Babbitt project or one of his Babbitt deals. And he said that they were another type of goodie because I had gotten some of his other goodies. And but I had already gotten some of those goodies from Mike from Fish Tank Barn. He gave me 3 fry, but they all ended up being boys. So I needed some girls, and I was lucky enough to get, 10 of them from that guy, or maybe 8. I don't know what it was, but I bought 1 bag from him, and then he had another bag in the auction. And to try to help the club out, I put $20 on it. So,
oh, nice of you.
Yeah, it was kind of funny though because I could have got he had 3 bags of them. I could have put $5 on all of them and got. They ended up giving him 2 bags back, and I think these were one of the bags maybe that he got back also, and he just threw it in my box, and I didn't realize he threw them in my box.
Oh, free fish.
Yeah, he was probably laughing about it.
It's right. Yeah, I finally got rid of those little jerks. I've been trying to offload them for months.
But most people just don't. No, they're not platies. I know platies very well. These guys have more of a long body than a platy.
Okay. I was going to say they almost look like a platy.
Yeah, let's see.
Like just a dulled out colored platy.
You see, we're seeing them at kind of an angle, but
True.
they're a little longer fish.
Okay.
When they're this way, they're a lot more. Oh, I got a spam risk video call. Did you see that spam risk?
Yeah.
But they're a lot longer than what they appear here. They're
Okay.
about that long, and they're more slender than what
Okay.
they look kind of fatty here, but they're not as fat.
Yeah, it could be the refraction from the glass too with the picture.
They're just waiting for food.
Select Pet said, "Do you remember the name of the breeder?"
Well, I joined the club, and when they start having meetings back, I'll know what I remember his look. So,
Yeah,
he's in the Indianapolis club.
I didn't even get to start going to a club or anything because COVID happened. I was going to start going to clubs and fish stores, and then everything. Oh, it's all shut down.
Yep.
You jerks.
So, yeah, so I've joined the Circle City Club. That's Lucas's and Haley's in Indy. And yeah, just Tom Patterson's in that club. He's super cool. So both the whole family Pattersons are cool. They even have a cool son. So yeah, it was I just wanted to do that because they were cool, and I like going up to Indy. But then now Chattanooga has got a guy, a real go-getter. He's from up north. I think he's from Ohio, and he's taken our club to another level.
That's cool.
And so yeah, he's going to start the whole different breeding projects, like the Babbitt and it's the plant one. It's like Meza
like the one that Corey does out there, where you propagate so many plants and you get master plant, whatever the hell, horticulturist. Is that what it's called?
Yes, but
that would be.
They have like 3 letters for it, Meza or something. I don't know what it is. John probably knows. John's really on top of it, but he's kind of starting up his club. John, Select Pet John. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the other John. I was like, I didn't know he started a club.
He's too busy.
Oh yeah, they got too much stuff going on.
And if he was in a club, he's probably be like in a cichlid club.
True.
Like what Scott from King of Queens, he's in a cichlid club. So
I've still got to mention that to Lisa, to mention to him that if we do a African event for our community things next year, if he would potentially help us judge them, since he is an African cichlid guru. It's funny. He's got the big fish covered, and then Lisa's got the little itty bitty fish covered with her betas. It's perfect.
Yeah, they're a great combo.
He gets the giant 300 and 400 gallon tanks, and she gets all the 5 gallons.
Well, she has.
But
Does she
she's
have
getting,
a 125 or a 200 that's with discus?
yeah, I think. Well, she also said last night she's slowly trying to consolidate things into slightly bigger tanks, because when you're taking care of 200 plus betas that you're selling, trying to take care of your own tanks then can be a daunting task.
I can imagine.
I would still love to just have a room dedicated to 5 gallon tanks with nothing but betas in it.
Boy, you could fit a lot of those in here. Let's see, I've got 8. Well, and I could go 4 high if I had just 5 gallons.
Mm.
Boy, I bet you I could fit 200 of them in here at least. I've got about 50 tanks in here right now, so.
Yeah, I would, of course, have that. If I ever did that, though, I would have the entire system on some type of trickle water change or something.
Yeah, well, my betta wall that I'm just about to start will be on a trickle system. But I'm only going to probably keep 5 or 4 bettas. I'm going to end up keeping Baby Fry in those tanks.
Select Pet asked if you're in the Circle City Club Facebook page.
Oh, I didn't know they had one.
All right, Select Pet, if you're in there, send it an invite.
I wonder if he's a member of them.
Good question. All right, I'm ordering the bug bites.
For me?
I mean, I was going to try them out first before I recommended them to anybody.
I'm just teasing.
So yes,
I'm not a bug bite guy.
Trying all the flakes just to give them a try. And I'm going to get some of the Pleco one because I've been looking at those for a while.
I tell you that what are they? The shrimp really like the extreme shrimp pellets.
Well, I can't say my fish don't like the extreme food anymore, because all the fish from John and Lisa love the extreme food.
I bet.
And the wild betas love the krill flake. The other fish are still weary about eating it.
The pellets that I bought for my betta, he won't touch.
It's weird. Some do and some don't. Like, now mine are slowly getting used to them because I've been trying to feed them slower and slower to get them used to eating them. So some of mine will take it. Some of mine still turn their nose up at it.
What I ought to do is take a picture and put it on the Circle City site and say, can anybody identify these for me?
That wouldn't be a bad. Any Facebook group might be able to help you identify them.
Yeah.
As long as the people know their stuff. I've seen some horrible things in Facebook groups lately. People post this, can I do this? And people are like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can. You just got to be careful about how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, one person was like, oh, I have a 10-gallon tank. I've got a dwarf gourami, 4 neon tetras, and 3 panda cories. Is that too much? And people are like jumping on the guy. And I'm like, that's honestly a pretty decently stocked 10-gallon tank.
People are crazy.
Like,
everybody
my 10-gallon is normal. People would probably say my 10 gallons overstocked. First of all, I've got a beta and a honey gourami in there, which people were like, oh my God, you can't do that. I'm like, why? They get along. They don't fight each other.
Oh, Bob Kaler, he has 4 male bettas in the same tank.
Now, that's one of his bigger ones, though, right?
I think it's...
I thought it was his 120. I could be wrong, though.
I don't know. It might be like a 40
Okay.
long.
I mean,
or
I
something.
would like when you think about when they're in the wild over in Thailand and wherever else they are, they're not in like individual rivers and bodies of water. They're all in one big lake or pond.
Oh, I've seen photos of like 200 in a little pond,
Yeah.
like a breeding
So
pond, and it
I'm
looked like a bouquet. It was
I'm
so beautiful.
I'm almost wondering if from like domestic breeding of them, they've gotten less used to being together in the same body of water.
Well, this was in Asia. It was a breeder's
Oh,
pond. It
well
was
then
like
I
a
don't know.
square pond,
I don't know
and
then.
it had filled with like several hundred. But I think if there's that many, it disperses maybe aggression.
They could, yeah, well, they would, yeah, it could be like the same thing with tiger barbs. You get enough of them and they don't, too few, they go crazy. Get enough of them and they're fine.
But bobs just all stay away from each other.
I mean,
They just all pick their own area and hide
yeah,
behind.
that's
rocks
kind of
from
what
each
the
other.
gourami and beta do in my 10-gallon. The only time they really come near each other is feeding time, but even then, the Danios are so spastic that they're not close enough to each other. But yeah, the 10-gallon's got the honey gourami, the beta, 6 Danios, and then 5 of the Cory cats that I got from Dan. And people like were like, oh, I'm like, it's got double filtration, it's got plants in it, the levels are usually good, the tank is fine. People don't need to jump on me.
Yep.
Like when people are new to the hobby, I almost want to say join Facebook groups for basic knowledge and some beginner help. But at the same time, I want to say don't join them because half the people on them are so set it has to be done this way that if you deviate at all, they just eviscerate you. Something fall?
It sounded like it, but I'm trying to figure out where.
Did a cat jump down?
No, I've got baby cat and Nico right here, but it sounded like a lid.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it was from the Mabunas. Or
Oh.
It may have been an African smacking into the roof of the tank.
Oh.
That was
I'm
strange.
going to say, knock on wood, I've never had them or my wilds jump yet.
But you heard that also?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, it sounded more like something falling or something. I thought baby cat maybe jumped on a tank. But she's sitting behind the computer and Nico's sitting next to me. Strange.
Yes, Casey, you also get those people too that just post on the groups to argue with other people. Or they post something really ridiculous like, oh, here's my 4 betas and one little thing. And then they're like, haha, just kidding. They're only in there for pictures. Like, what did you expect posting that you got your beta in a little tiny cup for a picture? People weren't going to attack you.
Yeah, the only group that I really pay attention to that I like is Priscilla's shrimp one. I'm in about 8 of them. I'm in a Molly one and a couple of guppy ones. I'm in the Deep South guppy one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay attention to that if they have like shows again, but now they don't.
I joined so many Facebook groups that when I first applied to join Corey's Aquarium Co-op one, Candy rejected me because I was in so many they thought I was a bot.
I didn't even know he had one.
I had to message. Well, it's not called. I think it's called Aquarium Support or something like that. But it's got their logo on top and it's pretty much moderated by them. So I was like, Candy, I got rejected. She's like, oh, just resubmit it. But yeah, I'm in that. I usually use that one, and then I use the Tank Talk one with KG. Those are the only 2 and I'll help out the beginner beta one because some people are like so awful at advice.
Yeah. Well, and I don't really care to be. I don't want to sound rude, but I don't really care to be in any of the ones that have just beginners or have a lot of beginner questions because it just kind of fills spam up for me. And
yeah,
I know that's terrible, but like
pretty much have notifications off for most of the Facebook groups. It's just when I'm scrolling through, I'll see them and I'll help answer them. Like, do I still have the one from the other day? I made somebody mad the other day on Facebook. The guy bought like 4 Fluval FX6s or something. And he was like, oh, I'm all set for my tanks. And I'm like, looks like a waste of money on the floor to me.
I still have to hook mine up.
I don't know.
I need to hook it
not
up to my 200. But
Oh, thanks,
Yep.
John. Is this it?
yeah, they were bred to fight.
Ah, here it is. But I will say I wasn't the only one that said that all these, fluvels was a waste of money.
Thanks, Select Pet John. I appreciate that. He's a really cool guy. I wish he lived here.
Where does Select Pet live?
He lives in well, I don't know for sure, but I would guess Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Or roundabouts in that. Maybe a town. I don't think he actually lives in the city. I think he lives in a town next to it.
They posted this and they're like, okay, I'm all set for my fish. And I'm like, you need that much filtration?
Well, he's got 2 mega ones. And then what are...
Well, there's an FX4, an FX6.
FS4. Oh, yeah. What are the ones on top?
It says filters 100 gallons. So it must be a smaller version of the... I don't know. Yeah, the FX4 is for 250. This top one says 100.
What's the FX6 for?
400.
See, I'm going to really overdo it in that tank. But, it was $150. It was just so cheap, I bought it.
I guess it also depends on what you have for fish.
I don't overstock any of my tanks, which is also... I shouldn't say that. But it's not overstocked, so I don't need that much. Right now, it has, the biggest marine land on it, which is, up to 160 or 155 or something. But so it's overperforming, and it's done great for the last year and a half. But I have 4 geophagus and 4 thread fins, Cara, and 1 Bisher and 1 the Synodontis that get real big.
Okay.
And when I bought him, he was only like this. I thought they got to this big. But when Kenny E was here, he said, no, they get to...
Wow.
I was like, oh, crap. He's a super pretty fish, but I don't know what I'm going to do with him when he's 16 inches. I don't like getting monster fish. In my 200, it's a tall. So it goes 4 foot high.
Just did a quick... The Synodontis catfish, right?
Yes.
It could be that some will get that big, but the average I'm seeing on Google is 10 inches.
Yeah, that's still... I would rather... I should have just got the ones that sound like Pepsi Colas. Because they stay right at about 4. And they're so cool.
That's why I got the 2-spot catfish, because they stay about 3 inches. They don't get any bigger. It says that they're peaceful community catfish. And like I said, I've got Rasboras in my tank that are a half an inch, and he hasn't tried to eat them. So...
Stupid people just said that Oscars are averaged about 10. So let's hope my guy doesn't get over 10, because I can keep him in there.
Yeah, and I think it all depends on where you look and what kind of... even John, when I was showing off my cichlid tank to John and Lisa, they even said some of the fish, while the average is a certain size, some have gotten bigger than that. So I'm hoping...
How you're doing your hands?
Oh, you can't even see how...
This one looks like your strong little hand. They're like this big.
So I'm hoping mine stay the 4-inch size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Stupid people mention they say the average size of an Oscar is 10, but they do get bigger.
And I keep 1 Bisher in there, and it'll get pretty big too. But they take a long time to grow.
Those are on my list of fish I'd like to own someday.
I have 3 of them, and I absolutely love them.
I'd also wouldn't mind owning some axolotls someday because they look super cool. But if I ever get the approval from the parentals to do another tank, it's going to be an Amazon puffer tank. I've already settled on that.
Oh wow! That's cool.
Amazon puffers, and then I probably Bloodfin Tetras to go with them. With nothing but Val in the tank. I think that would look super cool.
I have a tank that only has 4 CPDs in it, and I've been thinking about maybe putting some puffers in it. Once I get the CPDs out, the P puffers.
Mm. Yeah, I've debated getting those guys too, but then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind getting a slightly bigger puffer.
The CPP. Now I can't say it, but
the Danios.
Yeah, they hide all the time.
See, mine don't.
They only come out when they're hungry, I think.
Well, I also have a cylinder tank.
Yeah, mine's round too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have octopus plant in it, and it's got one thing of driftwood in the middle. Other than that, there's really not much in it. And they seem happy. They're fully colored up. They're always hungry. I
had just, when it first started, I had one Anubius in there and one Windela Villa lace. It's like this stuff that has like the little hands on top.
Mm-hmm.
I love it's one of my favorite plants. Oh, I wonder how that's doing. I need to check on that. But nevertheless, it's one of my favorite plants. And I ended up getting a rock that it actually came with the tank because it was a tank that we won in Knoxville. Well, it had just a big old piece of dragon stone that I put in there, and it was all dried. But I managed it. Now I have like a ton of Christmas moss. I mean, it looks like a basketball in there of Christmas moss. And the CPDs just hiding that Christmas moss all the time. They love it.
Well, that's why people were like, whenever I was first looking at them, everyone's like, oh, don't get CPDs. All they do is hide. And I'm like, well, they look cool, so I still want to get some. And then mine have never been super shy. They've always been out and about for me to look at.
I got mine free. I got mine at that pet store that was closing down. I bought 3 tanks. And I didn't even know they were in the tank because they were hiding. I bought 3 shrimp tanks. And in the 3 shrimp tanks, I knew I was getting the shrimp, but I ended up with the Hercules snails, the CPDs, and then in the other tank it had white clams.
Oh.
I had no idea there were white clams in there, and I took it outside to just clean it all out and dry it, and the clams came up out of it and died.
Oh.
Because it was completely drained, and that was gross.
Well, honestly, you might have saved yourself a ticking time bomb with the clams.
Yeah, I hear that.
I at one point bought freshwater mussels for my tank, and I had them. They were doing fine. And then when people found out that I had them, they're like, "Oh, you should be careful because those things will just up and die for no reason, and then you're gonna have an ammonia spike."
Yeah, I've got one in my 200. It's a shark tooth one. It's about that big. I see it every 6 months. It comes out and checks everybody out for like one day, and then it goes back under the sand.
Yeah, mine never fully buried themselves, and I would get like super fine powdery food too, so there was always something in the water column for them. I don't know, mine did fine.
I don't even know what it eats, you know?
I mean, they're filter feeders, so as long as there's stuff in the water, they're going to eat, right?
Yeah. And well, I'm surprised that the geophagus don't dig it up more, because they're always making great big bowls in the sand where they dig it all out, and then they move, and they're just always digging. And I'm just, maybe when they do dig it up, it just turns around and goes the other way.
So I had a productive Tuesday. World of Warcraft servers were down, so I couldn't play. So,
oh gosh, you play WoW?
I do. So I sat down and I recorded every single episode of the series I want to do on my channel.
What's the series?
I want to do like a beginner Fishkeeper 101 class kind of thing.
Oh, cool. I was thinking you were recording like on your DVR, like all the Mandalorian episodes or something.
I sat my butt down in this chair, I turned on my microphone, and I recorded like 10 episodes.
That's amazing. I need to do a couple of videos myself or finish some. And
Yeah, gotta go
this
back.
whole quarantine thing, I've been like reading books. Stuff. I've been reading, and I don't mean to read so much. Oh, where'd he go? I've been reading books, and I love reading books, fiction, and but it's like I start reading a book and I can't do anything else.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
I haven't even turned on the TV.
You're gonna feed
I've
it?
watched only the Chiefs game this week since I've gone to quarantine. Hey, Mississippi hippie, your fish are still doing amazing and having babies.
Hey, Mississippi hippie.
I haven't lost any of her guppies.
Well, that's good.
Yep, I did lose one of my LRB platinum females, jumbo platinums, or red tail platinums. That's what they're called. But they have Dumbo ears. But yeah, one of the females was pregnant and she died. But I've got probably, I bought originally, I think 6 of them from him or 4.
Mhm.
And I've got probably 15 or 20 in there now. So,
Okay.
but I really need to take one of the females. I see a juvenile female right there. I see 2. I need to grab them out and I need to put them in this tank here so they can breed with Jesse's Dumbos. He gave me mosaic Dumbos.
Oh.
But the females died, but I have the 3 boys.
Yeah.
And, the genes come, the Dumbo gene comes from the female.
Right.
So I got to get a female. And since they have pretty much just a silver body with a red tail, I think they'd go well with the mosaics.
Yeah, I bought some I purchased like some new purple guppies for my breeding tank because I noticed I'm getting a lot less males and a lot more females and the colors are dulling a little. So I was like, okay, I went on eBay, I found some beautiful looking purples. I ordered, one guy had like 10 fish for $50. So I was like, okay, that's great. They're the same kind I had. The week of the shipment, I get an email. Your order's been canceled. So I emailed the guy. He's like, oh, they weren't ready to ship. I can't ship them now. I'm like, okay. Second guy I ordered from was just a pair, and I was like, that's better than nothing. Both those fish showed up dead.
Oh, bummer.
The guy didn't use a heat pack, and it was a 40-degree week, and I'm like, you're a freaking moron. So I reordered new ones through him because, he said just pay the $7 shipping. I was like, fine. The box comes. He only put 1 fish in it instead of 2. It was the female. The female died 3 days later. Then I ordered some fry that are of the purple variety.
From him?
No, from a different guy. It was like 7 females and 6 males or whatever the heck it was. So I put them in quarantine tank. They all died except for 2. So I'm like, well, this was a giant waste of money.
Well, honestly, you probably shouldn't have to worry about color shift until they're like 16 to 18 generations in.
I don't know which generation on the original breeder was.
That's true, too.
My only saving grace, I mean, technically, my males and my females weren't the same kind of guppy. My males were the purple mosaics. My females were blue mosaics. So there should be, I hope, enough genetic difference.
Well, female mosaics are normally blue. I mean, they put out a blue tail, but like they still produce red boys.
Yeah, I've only luckily got 1 red boy.
Well, that's just, maybe he was just not being cool to you and gave you a different female to make sure you didn't breed against him.
Yeah.
But yep, I'm about to add my Nebula Steel with Hippie's Nebula Steel. Just they both look, they're both beautiful fish, and I just think they'd all get together happy, and so looking forward to that.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, and I still want to breed betas at some point. Just to say I've tried it.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably like to try at some point just to do it one time. But I want to make sure that like my local fish store is ready.
Oh,
Did he
glitching out for you guys? Oh, is he glitching out for anybody else? He glitched out for me.
I was disappearing.
Oh, I think you're back now. Yay,
I
tech
hope so.
issue. John cursed
I
us
was
with tech issue.
glitching out. Yeah.
I think you're good.
But yeah, what I would do is talk to my local fish store and make sure that he'd be willing to take them on. And I give him free fish just because I like him and he gives me such good deals.
Like that was originally the
I'd
plan with
rather.
the guppies. I was just going to bring them to an LFS and say, "Here you go."
Oh, I think I'm glitching out still.
Oh, yep, you are.
Bummer.
Oh.
Well, we have 15 minutes left.
Yes. We should we have an event going on we should probably mention. Oh. Hello, Ed. Ground control to Ed.
I feel like I'm here, but I guess I'm not.
I think you are. I can hear you now.
Okay. Boy, I have really squinty eyes.
Oh, I think you froze again. Did he freeze again, guys? Hey, Larry D's Tanks and more. Well, I think Ed is frozen.
Sorry.
So, real quick, I'm just gonna, I'll mention our event. We oh, is he gonna text me now? So we're running another Fish Fam community event. It is Catfishmas in the spirit of the holidays. It's running until December 31st, so you've still got pretty much 3 weeks to submit your entries. Same thing as last time. Picture, video. Make sure the video is 1 to 3 minutes, please. If it's below 1 minute, it will get deducted points. If it's over 3 minutes, it will get deducted points. And then the last category is art. Any kind of art that revolves around catfish. It's any catfish. It can be a pleco, an actual catfish, a Cory cat, anything that's got catfish in its species orientation somewhere. Also, hello, Nathan. That does run until the 31st of December, and then the judges will deliberate. We're happy to have Lisa from KT Tropicals on board again for this one. Just figured likes cats and catfish, or likes cats and fish, makes perfect sense. Oh, now Ed's frozen with a cat. William, if it's 333 minutes repeating, then I'm just going to say you get a 0. Sure, Rico, if you want to replace it or...
But I'll still watch it just to see what's going on.
We heard him speak, everybody. Yeah,
Sorry,
Rico.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Nothing's final yet, so you're good. And now there's a dog barking in the background. Oh, are your lights changing color?
But it's a yes.
I just noticed that the lights change color.
They randomly change color.
Oh.
Like when I turned out the lights earlier, they were all red, white, and blue.
To me, they just...
It looks like you locked up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the internet doesn't want us to stream anymore. So, I don't know if Ed can hear me, but why don't we just call it here? I believe Science Gal Aquatics might be streaming at 6 Eastern. If not, I know Weldon Tanks is doing a stream. Let me pull his thing up real quick. Or it's a premiere. I think it's a premiere. Not sure. But, either check out Carrie or you can go check out Weldon Tanks. And Ed and I will catch you next Friday. We're still not sure what we're doing Christmas Day because that is a Friday, but we'll let you guys know. And catch you next time.